Alrighty, y'all. Now I'm gonna point out some facts about this video. This guy is literally creating a battery pack, which now I have spotted a few mistakes in this video, which you will currently see. I have obviously worked with batteries before, and I know what I'm doing with batteries. His first mistake that he does is has gotten a 12 volt BMS adapter that runs USBs and a 12 volt to 20 volt output and a 9 volt output, and USB 5 volts and a 12 volt input. Now I can understand the 12 volt input, and yes, it would work, but under one condition: you are salvaging the life of the batteries. Now, the BMS that he's fixing to be using, which you will see with the white connector, that one right there, he's going to be using that connector, that circuit board, that motherboard, and you obviously see one of my main issues about using 18650s. 18650s is not a toy to be playing with. These are very flammable. Now, the problem with this is he's fixing to be using this whole thing of batteries that he has here, of these 18650s. As you can see, this is the mistake he's using. He's fixing to parallel, I think this is parallel, it's either parallel or series circuit, 3 of these batteries together. He's making one whole battery for 18650s out of this. This is how he's doing it, and it kind of irritates me that he's doing it like this, because to be completely honest, each one of these single batteries should have a BMS, which will make sure every single battery will get fully charged. Now, in this instance of him doing this, it is a very, very big mistake, because none of these if one of these batteries exceeds the limit of that main BMS he's fixing to be using, exceeds the limit of charge, it will shut off the charge. That's a problem, because you won't be able to get the full use. Granted, you'll get a lot of amps out of it for now, but when that amperage gets up to a certain amount that BMS accepts, and it'll shut it off, you're looking at about half them batteries not even working after a while. That's why laptops, the older laptops, had a BMS for each individual battery. That's why you got more life out of your battery, is because each individual battery was its own battery. The BMS charged that battery. See, I don't understand why he's doing it like this, but yes, you get a lot of amps out of it doing this, but it's not advisable to do as he's doing. Now, he's fixing to use this BMS, which in theory, yes, it would work for a short amount of time, but not for very long. I have worked with 18650s pretty much my whole life. I started when I was 6 years old, when they first came out with BMSs and started coming out with 18650 batteries. The very first 18650 batteries, if I'm not mistaken, was in a Milwaukee drill. This video is not sponsored by the Creative Channel. I'm not trying to put down this creator. I'm sorry if this offends anybody. I'm just trying to point out obvious mistakes, facts. To be completely honest, Creative Channel, if you ever watch this, please take my advice and do a video separating each battery with a BMS, each individual
or
cell.
can read for people with low vision.
Sorry for the ads. But yeah, I don't understand why he's using a single BMS to charge this whole stinking battery, but what's up to him, that's all his business. I just wanted to point out the facts of why this individual idea would not, it'll work, but it wouldn't last very long for this BMS. This BMS only has a certain amount of capacity, maybe 600,000 milliamps. I really do not know. But this BMS will not charge all, like, I think there's like 160 cells there. I'm not too entirely sure, but it's not going to charge every one of those. And I know it's not. I've worked with BMSs and batteries my whole life, so. And I am 23 now, so. I think I have a little more experience in working with BMSs. I can actually make a battery last a hell of a lot longer than what he's doing. Now, you can use a separate BMS for each set of 3 cells to 4 cells, maybe 5 cells, and it'll work perfectly that way. But the way he's doing it right now, that's definitely not going to work. It will not work at all. I mean, I'm sorry, it'll work, but it'll die quicker. Granted, that battery right there he just created could have at least, if I have to say, maybe 18,000 hours on it if he actually hooked it up right with each individual battery with a BMS. It could have at least 18,000 hours off of just one single charge. The battery's fully charged. Let's see what this thing can do and see how long it lasts. Okay, he's got the 12 volt output to 9 volts right now. Okay, 9.5 is basically 10 volts. 16, 19, 20. I would use that 19 to charge a laptop. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of amps right there. Better hope that's a 20 volt motor, otherwise that's going to end up frying that motor. Okay, he's about to take some phones, hook up a USB. Hopefully them USBs ain't running 9 volts at the moment. Samsung Galaxy S Fold, or Z Fold, I forgot what it was called, but it's a fold. For that kind of battery, I would expect a quick charge. It's good and all that he came up with this idea and trying to make it work. But each individual cell is not going to fully charge like he expects it to. Each individual cell. In order for it to actually charge each individual cell, you have to have some sort of BMS that will separate the power from each individual battery to cause it to actually charge each individual cell. You have to separate the cells in order to charge each individual cells. Yes, in theory, it would work. It would charge a laptop, which is a pretty good idea. But there are flaws with this idea. And Creative Channel, I give you gratitude for your effort. I am not trying to down your video. I love your videos. Your videos are awesome, dude. You inspire me to make better ideas. I love it. Thank you.